All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we have an actual fight that is going to be coming up next month, I do believe, between Devin, Haney, and Brian Norman Jr. Devin Haney, according to Kenny Ellis, may be making a very big mistake in the fight with Brian Norman Jr. And also, there is some twerking, I mean that, tweaking and twerking that he is going to have to do to make up for the fact that he's lost one of the most important people and controversial people on his team. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, man, we are in the end of an era in boxing, man. We really, really are, man. We see Gervonta Davis' career coming down, look like it's coming to a slow close. Errol Spence Jr., according to unconfirmed rumors, has retired. And there's a good possibility that Devin Haney is going to get the brakes beaten off of him by Brian Norman Jr. in their upcoming fight. At least, I ain't gonna lie, that's what I hope is gonna happen. But before I get into the details about what Kenny Ellis said about the fight and why he says Devin Haney may be making a mistake, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for what you do. It really makes a big difference to the channel. So we're going to get to see whether or not Devin Haney is the real deal or not when he fights Brian Norman Jr. And this is for a couple reasons. One, he's finally fighting somebody that is younger than him, somebody that is the same size as him, somebody that really, well, actually, I think Devin Haney's still bigger than Brian Norman, but actually is going to be fighting in a weight class that he belongs in for the first time in his career. Prior to that, Devin Haney was the biggest weight bully, and I don't care, I'm using the phrase, biggest weight manipulator that there was in boxing. Okay, you don't want to say bully, so let's take bully out of it and say he's the biggest weight manipulator that there was in the sport of boxing. Primarily, I posit, because he was with Victor Conte, who knew how to get him down in weight all the way to 135 pounds and then blow up like a piñata within 24 hours or 36 hours, whatever it was, and wind up weighing 25 to 30 pounds more. That, I do believe, was the case because he was with Victor Conte. Now we will see that Victor Conte is not in his camp. And we know Victor Conte is not in his camp because Victor Conte has passed away. More than likely, Victor Conte has not been involved in his camp at all for this fight because Victor Conte was dealing with pancreatic cancer. So there's going to be a change in nutritionists. There's going to be a change in setups. And we're going to see if it works the same way it did with Victor Conte. And according to Kenny Ellis, who is a trainer for Gervonta Davis, he says that he believes that Devin Haney is making a mistake in the fight with Brian Norman and that he looks like he is bulking up too much. Bulking up too much. Now, why would he be bulking up too much? Could be bulking up too much because one or two things. One, he could be coming up into the weight class and feeling like he wants to be strong. He can finally doesn't have to wait and drain himself down and all of that. So he wants to take full advantage of that, put on some extra muscle, and still kind of do his draining thing where he'll put a bunch of muscle on and then he can magically get rid of a bunch of it and then he'll blow back up, I don't know, maybe to 175 or something like that. He could be doing that. Who knows? However, it's at a certain point in time, I think what Kenny Ellis is saying is that you have the law of diminishing returns. You start giving up your speed, you start giving up your slowing your feet down, all of those type of things. And those are things which he's going to need against Brian Norman Jr. because Brian Norman Jr. is going to seek and destroy he's going to attempt, he is going to attempt to seek and destroy on Devin Haney. So in order for Devin to be able to be competitive or remain competitive in the fight, Devin is going to have to be on his feet and he's going to have to be moving. He's going to have to jab. He's going to have to get out of there. He's going to have to make sure he stays off of the ropes, keeps the fight in the middle, keeps it at the very least mid-range to fighting on the outside. He has to do all of that to stay against this kid that is really going to be looking at his chin. Now, one of the things that one of the things that are forgotten and rewritten about Devin Haney may very well come into play. When people say that Devin Haney has no chin because he was knocked down, 4 or 5 times by Ryan Garcia, right? Well, a lot of people say, well, no, that doesn't mean I don't have a chin. That just means I'm really tough because I just keep getting back up. No, brother, that means you have a funny chin because you keep getting back down. You keep getting knocked down. Your toughness and your chin are 2 different things. You can be terribly tough, but you just got a bad chin. And when you get touched on that chin, you're going to go to sleep. Tommy Hearns was somebody like that. And I'm a huge fan of Tommy Hearns. But unfortunately, Tommy Hearns got a little bit of a button on his chin. Very, very tough fighter, very hard fighter, very, very in the mix, willing to throw with cats. It just so happens if you hit him on that button that you very well may have a problem. So Devin Haney can be as tough as he wants. If he does not have some natural punch resistance and he puts on a ton of muscle and he feels like, his biceps are somehow going to steady his neck, hey man, he might wind up with his head on a swivel. And I can't lie. I am ready for the next generation of fighters to come on. I really am. I'm ready for the next fighters, American fighters, that I can watch that have a clean slate, do not have any of these scumbag wannabe promoters, scumbag wannabe managers, wannabe middlemen that want to get in between every single solitary fight that somebody tries to make if they can't get their grubby little hands on some of their money, which is exactly what has been happening to the PBC over the last several years with these people. So now that Arrows looks like he could be retiring, Gervonta career is slowing down. Personally, I don't think they were going to pay that. They didn't want that fight. People want to put that on Gervonta. I am just so, like I said, I'm going to see whether or not they put this man in jail for this. If they do not put Gervonta Davis in jail for this, if he is not hit with anything real substantial in a civil suit and I don't care about the civil suit. I care about that criminal court. If that does not happen with him, then I'm not trying to hear it. You guys were playing games, a bunch of media nonsense and somehow stuck a storyline in the middle of it that could break that man's money up. Because I do not put it past any of y'all. And in matter of fact, Jake Paul himself doesn't put it past people because Jake Paul himself thought that a girl that was accusing him of sexual assault had been bribed and paid to accuse him of it. But all of a sudden, he don't have any idea that possibly could happen to Gervonta from a stripper. But anyway, man, it is what it is, man. Sorry for letting this video devolve into another topic, but it is what it is. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.